Do you ever hear a game executive say something you're like, bro, what? Here is a great example of this. So this is Mitch Lasky. He's got a podcast, Gamecraft. It's kind of interesting. He has a storied career, but he's now turned into a clueless idiot. And it's really interesting because here he's saying that he's excited that there's going to be a growth of small stores, because what gamers really want are a bunch of more small stores that handpick releases, that they're curated. There's like a curated list of games, and finally there'll be some boutique stores, because that's what gamers want. They want to go to a place where there's fewer games to pick. Okay, so there's two ways to break this down. I'll do first the obvious way, and then I'll do the business way that Mitch still has no idea. Now, again, Mitch has a storied career. Dude is successful, but they become out of touch. And this is a classic example of an out-of-touch executive. Now, he's talking his book, of course, because he's invested in Discord and some other places that are not going to try to sell games. And so he's got to be like, well, I got to be stupid every single time I talk now, right? And that's why you get guys like this. You've seen these interviews, and you're like, how can you seriously be this stupid, Mitch? I'm calling you stupid for a reason, because you're being stupid. Okay, you can go look and see on Steam, nobody wants to go to EGS. You know why? Because they want their games in one place. And you're like, well, so Discord tried this. Discord tried to have the launcher that launched from everywhere. People are like, yeah, I don't need that. I'll just keep on Steam. I'll buy it from Steam. It's cool on Steam. Okay, yes, stores will be disrupted. Steam will be disrupted one day. But this isn't it. People don't want boutique stores like curated lists. Wonder where you could find a curated list. Has he never been on Steam? Like, okay, so maybe he's talking mobile, but we all know, like, you do the default store. If Apple has a store, you go to the Apple store. Like, yeah, right? There's a bunch of these independent things competing for each other. And this is where then his business case, if he's talking about mobile only here, this is where his business case, he's showing he doesn't understand business, which I don't think he does anymore. I think he used to, but he says some really stupid stuff now that makes me think he doesn't. But he does every single podcast, in the notes. The notes, as they start writing the podcast, are like, okay, what can I brag about? Let's mention it again. And then what can make me sound really smart? We'll ignore that it doesn't make any sense. So here's the business case for it, right? So he's saying, hey, these boutique stores. So to have a boutique store, you need to have users, right? People to come in, especially if they're going to have games that are bespoke to them, only being sold on that store. So you need to have users coming in. Well, you're competing against developers who are trying to get people to their game. Now, developers, especially in mobile, are spending billions of dollars to get their 70%. That's 70%, right? Because Apple takes 30 and whatever. It's going to maybe go down or whatever, but we'll see. But for that 70%, right now, they spend gobs of money. Now, if you're a storefront, you can't charge 30% because you have to be competitive some other way. It's not just like, oh, people can't find us. Yeah, we're a speakeasy of game stores. It's really cool. Like, no, right? So they need to get users to their store. So that means then they would be competing in the same pool as people who are getting 70% of the revenue, that at most they could get 30%, but they can't take that full 30%. They got to give something more since they're boutique. So they would then be spending for user acquisition the same amount and only be taking 20% of the revenue versus 70% of the revenue. I know, Mitch, that's the math. We can do that. We can do that as division. We can do that as subtraction. But let's just say that's the math. That doesn't work in your favor. But that's where you get these clueless executives, right? And the problem now is Mitch invests in companies. Mitch talks to executives. He's on the board of things. Yeah, Discord, man. I loved Discord. And now I'm like, man, I should move my platform off of there. And I should figure out how to short it. Because if these are the guys that are now advising Discord, they're sunk. Because Mitch, dude, you had a storied career. You should have just gone off into the sunset. Because you don't play games anymore. You don't talk to gamers. You don't talk to developers. Man. Are the drugs that good when you have that much money? Are they? Like, are you Elon Musk in it? Because, bro, there's an older dude doing an older dude.